Archangel Michael left a message in your dream last night. You only remembered the ending. Here's what the beginning said. You woke up with a heaviness you couldn't explain. A message echoed in your spirit, a phrase lingering like the scent of divine fire. You are closer than you think, but someone stands in the way. That was the end. That's all you remembered. But the message began long before that moment, and it was delivered with authority, urgency, and love. Archangel Michael was present. The wind shifted in your sleep. The veil parted. And though your conscious mind only held on to the final sentence, your soul was marked by every word that came before it. That's why your chest has felt different since you opened your eyes. That's why time seems to be warping around you today. Because heaven spoke last night, and Archangel Michael came through a dream gate to deliver a warning and a preparation. One so important that even forgetting it could shift the balance of what happens next. His message wasn't a random whisper in the night. It wasn't a passing vision. It was a scroll handed to you in a moment between realms. Michael stood in the light, cloak and armor that pulsed with divine energy, and spoke the beginning of that message with clarity, purpose, and fierce protection. But as you returned to waking, your memory faded. And now, through divine alignment, this message has returned to you, not from memory, but through spiritual intersection. You were never meant to forget. You were only meant to hear it again, this time with more power. This time with understanding. And now, Archangel Michael speaks, not in dreams, but through revelation. Through this voice. Through this very moment. You're not reading this by accident. This is not a coincidence. This is spiritual precision. Because something is approaching. A moment is arriving. And you need the full message, both the ending you remembered and the beginning you forgot. Archangel Michael has returned to finish what began in your sleep. He is still watching. He is still guiding. And he says this: now that you are awake, it is time to listen with your spirit. Archangel Michael says, be careful. Something is shifting in your atmosphere. You felt it before you saw it. The energy around you has started vibrating differently. There's a pressure in the air that wasn't there before. A thinning of the veil. A flutter in your stomach that can't be explained by logic or emotion. This is not anxiety. This is spiritual signal. Archangel Michael has sent the first wave of instruction into your environment. And you must know, this is not a time to hesitate. The realm of the unseen is now overlapping the realm of your daily life. And in that thin space, divine intervention becomes immediate, but so does spiritual interference. There are forces watching your steps right now. And there is divine favor hovering just beyond your grasp, waiting for your awareness to rise. That is why Michael came. That is why the dream carried weight. Because what you remembered was not just a closing, it was a divine countdown. A celestial marker that time has shortened. The ending was never the end. It was your beginning. And now, the full message comes back with urgency. You have 24 hours to shift your posture. You have 24 hours to remember who you are. You have 24 hours to spiritually declare that you are awake, you are aligned, and you are under divine protection. Because what comes next is not for the blind in spirit. It is for the ones who hear. It is for the ones who believe. And it is for the ones who obey. Archangel Michael is not asking for your attention. He is commanding your awakening. And this message is not passive. It is active. It is alive. It is time-sensitive. The countdown has already started, and the enemy knows it too. That's why distractions are multiplying. That's why fatigue is attacking you. That's why confusion has tried to settle in. But now that you are listening, the fog must clear. Because Michael speaks not from distance but from presence. And where he is, war ends. Where he is, divine order is restored. And where he is, no darkness can remain. He declares over you now, I have placed my shield over your timeline. But you must move with the message. You must remember the beginning, not in sleep, but in soul. You must rise in it. You must walk in it. And you must declare it. Because the clock is ticking, and heaven is watching to see what you'll do next. Type I receive in the comments if this resonates with your soul. Blessing code 111 is now igniting around you. Archangel Michael watches as the veil over your life begins to tremble. What you remembered was just the final phrase of the dream, but what was left unspoken in your waking memory has already stirred the heavens. This isn't just about a forgotten message. It's about what's been hidden from you in plain sight. Behind the curtain of routine conversations, polite interactions, and masked intentions, something has been brewing. And it's time to confront the uncomfortable truth. Someone close to you has been carrying a duplicity that heaven can no longer allow to go unchecked. The moment your dream ended with that final warning, you are closer than you think, but someone stands in the way. A portal was activated. That line wasn't metaphor. It was literal. A person, once trusted, now holds a position that blocks your blessing. Someone you once confided in has become an unknowing vessel for spiritual delay. They smile, but their spirit stirs with unrest when your name is mentioned. They compliment you in public, but their energy behind closed doors whispers something different. Archangel Michael sees the conversations. He hears the muttered phrases. He feels the discomfort in the air when you enter a room. This is not your imagination. This is spiritual awareness sharpening. There's a conversation happening behind your back. A conversation that is not based on truth but based on assumption, fear, and spiritual distortion. And what's worse, your silence has been misread as weakness. Your quiet endurance has been taken as submission. But heaven knows better. And Michael declares now, your stillness is strength. Your silence is sacred. And the time of being misinterpreted ends here. What they've seen of you is only the surface. They thought they knew your story. They thought they could predict your patterns. They assumed you were still healing from the last blow. But what they've misunderstood is your anointing. They've uncovered something, but only a fragment. A part of your journey they believed was all you had to offer. They watched you walk through the valley and assumed you'd stay there. But Archangel Michael says, the valley wasn't your home. It was your proving ground. There's a divine mystery over your life, and not everyone has been permitted to see it fully. That's why some people have turned cold without reason. That's why someone you used to lean on has become distant or passive-aggressive. That's why familiar faces have become emotionally foreign. You feel it. You sensed it. The spiritual atmosphere around certain individuals now carries weight, an invisible pressure that makes it hard to breathe around them. That's discernment. That's divine intelligence awakening. And it's not paranoia. It's preparation. Archangel Michael speaks now with fire. You must no longer ignore the signs. Heaven does not reveal betrayal to break your heart. It reveals betrayal to protect your purpose. This is not about revenge. This is not about bitterness. This is about realignment. There is someone in your proximity who cannot be allowed access to your next season. And while you may love them, while you may care, while your heart may ache at this possibility, you must understand, divine elevation requires separation. Your dream with the first signal. The message hidden within it, the one you forgot, is that not everyone can be carried into your breakthrough. There is a weight they add to your spirit, and Michael has seen how your wings have struggled to rise under their influence. Now, as this message unfolds in your waking reality, you must be willing to face the truth. Someone is being exposed, not with drama, not with noise, but with clarity. Archangel Michael is not bringing chaos. He is bringing divine destruction that restores order. He whispers through the wind of your intuition. Pay attention to who changes when you succeed. Pay attention to who avoids your eyes when favor follows you. Herein lies the mystery revealed. Your silence is your power. Your discernment is your shield. And your awareness is the gatekeeper of your destiny. You are not crazy. You are not imagining this. You are being prepared. You are being warned. And you are being protected. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. This conflict is not rooted in personality. It is rooted in purpose. What you are facing, what you are feeling, what you are slowly coming to understand. It is not just emotional friction or personal betrayal. It is spiritual in nature. Archangel Michael stands now, not just as your defender, but as your interpreter. He is here to show you what this really is. The tension in your relationships, the miscommunications, the heaviness you feel when you think about certain people. This isn't about them being petty or you being sensitive. This is about your light disturbing their shadows, and heaven needs you to see it clearly. You are chosen. You are marked. You are the one heaven has anointed for a specific time and task. That anointing does not always come with applause. It often comes with warfare. And this warfare isn't loud and obvious. It is subtle. It is relational. It hides in smiles. It whispers through tone. It lingers in energy. But it is warfare nonetheless. Archangel Michael says, this is not personal, it's spiritual. What they attack in you is the part they do not understand. The part that convicts them. The part that exposes their comfort zones. You walk into a room, and without speaking, you carry a mirror. That mirror reflects what others are hiding, and that is why their spirit becomes unsettled. They are not mad at your choices. They are not gossiping about your past. They are reacting to your rising. And heaven has allowed it, not to punish you, but to prepare you. This conflict is early assignment. It is shaping your discernment. It is clarifying your alignment. It is purifying your inner circle. You were never meant to keep everyone with you. Some people were seasonal, and their season has quietly expired. And while their words have tried to linger, their assignment is over. You must release them in the spirit before heaven can release you into the next stage of favor. Michael speaks now with unwavering authority. You are not losing people. You are losing interference. Their presence was tolerated for a time, but their energy now competes with your calling. And this is why your dream ended the way it did. The final words that echoed in your waking consciousness, you are closer than you think, but someone stands in the way, were not about physical distance. They were about spiritual obstruction. There is a gate in the spirit realm that is ready to open, but it cannot do so while you are entangled with spirits that speak against it. That is why Archangel Michael must remind you, this is not personal. This is positional. You are being repositioned, elevated, separated for sacred reason. You are not like them. You were not sent here to blend in. You were sent here to break cycles, to alter timelines, to awaken destinies. A kind of assignment comes with a cause. And part of that cost is misunderstanding. You will be misread. You will be underestimated. But none of it will stop you. Because heaven sees. And Michael guards. And even as they scheme, even as they speak, even as they twist truth, your protection is unmatched. Your defense is divine. This dream was not a random moment of the subconscious. It was a dispatch from the throne. The part you forgot. It said this: the weapons formed against you have been seen, but they will not prosper. You are not alone. You are not without guidance. You are not without power. You are under heaven's shield. And that shield is not passive. It is pulsing with angelic intelligence, divine insight, and supernatural strength. This conflict is the proof. The resistance is the evidence. And your survival is the prophecy. So now, you must see differently. You must stop viewing what you are going through as emotional rejection. You must see it as a sacred redirection. You must stop wondering what you did wrong and begin understanding what you're doing right. Because people don't throw stones at barren trees. They aim for fruit. They react to growth. And you, beloved, are blooming beyond their expectations. Archangel Michael speaks this final word in this section. Your assignment is spiritual. Your light is holy. And your protection is irreversible. Walk in that. Live in that. Breathe in that. Type "I am divinely protected" in the comments to align with blessing code 777 now rising in your favor. Archangel Michael leans in now with a voice both thunderous and tender. The time for watching silently has ended. The timeline has shifted, and what once seemed distant is now at your door. The message you remembered in your dream, "You are closer than you think, but someone stands in the way," was not a vague symbolic phrase. It was prophecy. It was the warning bell before a strategic move. And the move is coming now. In fact, it may have already begun. You have felt it in the atmosphere, conversations shifting, messages laced with strange energy, people reaching out with an agenda disguised as concern. Someone is preparing to confront you. Not always face to face, not always directly, but through slander, through misrepresentation, through manipulation of truth. This is not just about words, it's about access. And heaven is warning you. If you are not careful in this moment, your reaction could open a gate that heaven is trying to keep sealed. Archangel Michael speaks clearly. They are planning to trigger you. This is psychological warfare wrapped in familiarity. This is the enemy using voices you once trusted to spark doubt, fear, or emotional volatility. Be alert. Be grounded. Because the attack will not feel like an attack. It will feel like someone checking in. It will sound like, "Are you okay?" But carry the weight of judgment. It will come as, "I've been hearing things," laced with accusation. It may even arrive as silence, strategic withdrawal designed to confuse you, to make you second-guess your discernment. Do not fall for a performance. Michael warns, do not let a text message undo your healing. Do not let their silence bend your strength. The real attack is not about communication. It is about the spirit behind it. And what is behind it is chaos. What is behind it is confusion. What is behind it is a desperate attempt to stop you from walking into a divine moment that is less than 3 days away. Heaven's calendar is marked, and the next 72 hours are critical. What you say, what you don't say, what you respond to, what you ignore. These are not casual decisions. These are divine checkpoints. Someone is watching how you respond. Not just people, but spirit. The spirit of accusation. The spirit of delay. The spirit of manipulation. They are hovering, and they are waiting for an entry point. You must not give it to them. Michael reminds you, let your silence be your sword. Let your stillness be your defense. This is not the time to explain. This is not the time to justify. This is the time to listen inward, to hear what heaven is saying louder than what people are projecting. They may try to stir old wounds. They may try to pull you into a cycle you've already outgrown. But you must remember who you are. You are not that version of yourself anymore. You are not the person who needed validation. You are not the one who over-explained. You are now moving with divine precision, and that makes you a threat to their dysfunction. Your rise has caused panic in their camp. That's why they are planning to act. That's why this message had to reach you, because Archangel Michael has seen their blueprints. But you must understand this truth. Heaven has already intervened. Michael has already stepped into the space they thought was private. He has already disrupted their conversations. He has already confused their counsel. But you must still play your part. And that part is simple. Do not engage with chaos. Let their energy crash into your peace. Let their noise dissolve against your calm. You are protected, but you are also positioned. Positioned to win by not reacting. Positioned to reign by not defending. Positioned to rise by not shrinking. Heaven says this is the final test of your self-mastery. The blessing is near. The gate is open. But the next 3 hours will determine how you enter. Will you walk through crowned in stillness, or distracted by drama? The choice is yours, but the moment is already moving. Type I choose peace in the comments to activate Blessing Shield 333 around you now. Archangel Michael extends his wings now, not as a warrior ready for battle, but as a guardian cloaked in peace. This is the part of the message you almost forgot, the sacred instruction hidden between the lines of your dream, buried just before the moment you awoke. It wasn't just about who stood in your way. It wasn't just about the ending that echoed in your ears. It was also about how you must now walk forward. Because divine protection does not only surround those who are alert, it surrounds those who are obedient. And right now, obedience looks like silence, stillness, and sacred restraint. Michael is not calling you to retreat. He is calling you to refuse engagement. Because in this season, the power is not in your explanation. The power is in your elevation. Let them say what they will. Let them draw conclusions from fragments. Let them twist what they never took time to understand. This is not your battle. This is not your war. This is not your fire to fight. Archangel Michael declares, let heaven speak for you. Let angels answer on your behalf. Let your stillness draw the line that darkness cannot cross. You are not here to convince anyone. You are not here to fix narratives that were broken by the blindness of others. You are here to walk. You are here to move. You are here to ascend. And heaven says your response must be prophetic. Every time you choose not to react, you activate divine justice. Every time you refuse to chase rumors, you declare to the heavens that you trust the timing of God more than the noise of man. You are no longer in the realm of emotional explanations. You are in the realm of spiritual movement. And in this realm, the highest form of power is presence, not performance. Let them whisper. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Your silence will roar louder than any defense you could offer. Your refusal to react will dismantle their assumptions. Your peace will become a mystery they can't explain. That is how you win this. Not with anger, not with arguments, but with the authority of stillness. And that stillness is not passive, It is charged with the thunder of heaven. Michael says, "Stand still and see the salvation of your God." Remember, the dream was not just a warning, it was a prophecy. You were told you are close. You were told someone stands in the way. But now, you are being told how to pass through. You do not bulldoze through opposition. You glide above it. You soar over it. And every time you refuse to be baited into conflict, you rise another level. Every time you choose peace over pride, the realm of angels moves in your favor. Every time you trust the divine over your emotions, Michael sharpens his sword on your behalf. You are not defenseless. You are defended. You are not unheard. You are covered. What you feel as stillness is actually spiritual precision. What looks like doing nothing is actually the highest form of warfare. Because in this space, in this moment, your ability to withhold response is your greatest weapon. Let them wonder why you haven't replied. Let them be confused by your quietness. Your silence is prophetic. Your calm is divine. And Archangel Michael is standing between you and every word spoken against you, absorbing what was meant to harm and turning it into fuel for your next level. Heaven is instructing you, stay grounded. Walk slowly. Speak little. Observe much. Pray without ceasing. Do not justify. Do not clarify. You not beg to be understood. You are not in the proving season. You are in the positioning season. The proof will be your presence in the place they said you'd never reach. The evidence will be your elevation despite their slander. And the reward, oh beloved, the reward will be peace. The kind of peace that passes understanding and silences every tongue without you uttering a single word. Archangel Michael wraps this message with power. You are not here to respond. You are here to rise. Stay still. Stay sealed. And let your silence shake the gates of hell. Type "My silence is power" in the comments to receive the blessing seal 444 now hovering over your destiny. Archangel Michael now opens the heavens wider, allowing light to pour through the cracks created by your obedience. Because you did retaliate. Because you didn't explain. Because you stayed still when everything inside you screamed for clarity. That silence, though painful, became a key. And now the realm begins to shift. This is the turning point. This is the part they didn't expect. They thought your silence was surrender. But what they failed to realize is that it was the sound of transformation. They thought they had muted you, but in reality, you were being refined. And now the rising begins, not as a comeback, but as a coronation. You are no longer who they thought you were. The version of you they tried to box in, label, limit, and define has died in the silence. What is emerging now is a version of you they cannot reach, cannot predict, cannot shake. Archangel Michael announces, you have stepped into your unrecognizable form. This is the part where the caterpillar is declared gone, and the wings begin to spread. This is the hour where your enemies realize they underestimated the strength of your spirit. You were never breaking, you were becoming. This is not about revenge. This is not about showing anyone up. This is about showing up for yourself. Your light is no longer hidden behind humility. It is no longer buried beneath old wounds. It is now front and center, and it will blind those who once mocked your process. Archangel Michael stands before you, sword raised high, declaring your breakthrough not as a possibility, but as a reality. You are rising. You are rising. You are rising. And there is nothing, no one, no word, no weapon that can block what has already been sealed in heaven. They called you emotional. but you were discerning. They called you sensitive, but you were spiritually alert. They called you weak, but heaven called you chosen. And now, their words hold no power. Now, their energy cannot touch you, because you are no longer vibrating at their frequency. You are operating in elevation. You are aligned with divine strategy. You are moving in realms that their gossip cannot reach. Archangel Michael proclaims, "You are not the same, and you do not owe access to those who are blind to your glow." The space around you must now reflect the shift within you. You cannot shrink to make them comfortable. You cannot dim to remain relatable. You cannot slow down just to keep their pace. The dream wasn't just a warning, it was a map. The ending you remembered was the destination, but the beginning you forgot. That was the instruction. And now that it has been restored, your path is clear. Walk forward without apology. Walk boldly, even when misunderstood. Walk brightly, even when doubted. The people who tried to limit you will be the same ones who marvel at what heaven does through you. The ones who whispered your name in jealousy will soon hear it shouted in rooms they can't enter. This isn't arrogance. This is ascension. You were sent to stir waters. You were sent to disrupt generational patterns. You were sent to rise so others could see what rising looks like. You were sent to lead, not because you asked, but because heaven chose. And what heaven chooses, hell cannot cancel. Your enemies will stumble over the very stone they placed in your path. Your haters will witness the table being prepared in their presence. And you will eat in peace. You will rest in victory. You will dance in the same place you once wept. Because Archangel Michael did not just speak to you in your dream, he covered you in your sleep. And now, in the waking world, he ushers in the manifestation. The dream said you were close. Heaven now says, you have arrived. Let your past fall off. Let your name be cleared without effort. Let your radiance be unapologetic. Walk as if the ground itself recognizes your authority. Because it does. Type "I have risen" in the comments if you feel the shift. Blessing frequency 555 now flows through your spirit and surroundings. The shift has begun, and it cannot be reversed. Archangel Michael now steps back, his wings open wide, covering you in the aftermath of obedience, discernment, and power. You passed the test, not by force, not by defending your truth, but by standing in it. Heaven watched you choose silence over strife, peace over performance, destiny over drama. And now, the transformation begins. It is not delayed. It is not theoretical. It is already forming. The energy around you is shifting. The atmosphere is aligning. The very air around your name is being rewired to carry favor instead of friction. The message you remembered in your dream was a warning, but the message you forgot was a promise. The ending told you that someone was standing in your way, but the beginning, you now know, declared that nothing would stop you once you saw the truth. And now, having seen clearly, having walked boldly, having chosen wisely, you are entering the reward of the faithful. The divine realm is preparing to place something in your life that will answer every question, silence every critic, and elevate you beyond anything your past could have predicted. A reversal is coming. A revelation is coming. A release is coming. And not from man, but from heaven itself. Someone will come forward with the truth. Someone you least expected will confirm what your spirit already knew. That you were never the problem. That you were never confused. That you were always aligned, but surrounded by those who feared what you carried. The truth will emerge, not by force, but by divine orchestration. A phone call. A confession. A moment where everything hidden becomes revealed, and not to shame you, but to confirm you. Because Archangel Michael's promise is simple. You will not leave this season confused. You will exit crowned. Your life is now stepping into a divine spotlight. Not the spotlight of fame, but the spotlight of purpose. Heaven is highlighting your name in rooms you didn't even know existed. Favor is locating you. Opportunities are being whispered in your absence. Someone is being nudged in their spirit right now to bless you. Not because you asked, not because you begged, but because your stillness activated spiritual intervention. You chose to let God fight your battles, and now God is letting everyone see your victory. And it will happen in unexpected ways. An open door you did apply for. A miracle disguised as a mistake. A blessing that interrupts your normal routine. That is how heaven moves. Quietly. Strategically. Suddenly. What you thought was delay was divine calibration. What felt like punishment was protection. What seemed like abandonment was preparation. And now, every hour from this moment forward is moving you closer to the evidence of the transformation. Michael speaks now with finality. You will not recognize your life by the end of this season. The pain you endured will be replaced with peace. The weight you carry will become your wings. The sorrow you hid will become the song you sing. The tables are turning. The timeline is accelerating. The chapter is closing, not with regret, but with reverence. Because what is coming next is holy. What is coming next is sacred. What is coming next is yours. This is your confirmation. This is your reminder. This is your restoration. You are not waiting for breakthrough. You are walking in it. The shift is not about to happen. It has already begun. Feel it in your chest. Hear it in your thoughts. See it in the small signs that keep showing up. Heaven is nodding. The angels are clapping. Michael is smiling. And God is releasing. You have passed through the fire, and now the gold will shine. This is your transformation. This is your moment. This is the prophetic resolution written in heaven's script just for you. Type "I receive my divine shift" in the comments if you know this word is yours. Blessing code 888 is now unlocking spiritual upgrades around you. Now that the message has been restored, now that the dream has been decoded, now that you understand not only the ending you remembered, but the beginning you forgot. What will you do with this revelation? Heaven is no longer whispering. Archangel Michael is no longer waiting. The veil has lifted, the truth has been delivered, and the time for action is now. Not next week, not next month. Now. Because spiritual knowledge without spiritual movement is delay in disguise. You cannot receive divine clarity and continue to walk like you are confused. You cannot carry this kind of prophetic power and choose passivity. The light is on you now. Your timeline is active, and heaven is watching to see what you will do with what you now know. This is not a time for hesitation. This is not a time for doubting whether this message is for you. You didn't find this word. It found you. You didn't stumble into this moment. You were summoned to it. Because the message in your dream was not a coincidence. It was a contract. And now, your spirit has signed that contract in full awareness. That means your response matters. That means your agreement matters. That means your next move determines the momentum of what comes next. Archangel Michael says, now that you know, you must move differently. Speak differently. Choose differently. Live differently. So what does action look like in this moment? It begins with declaration. It begins with agreement. It begins with a prophetic yes, not a passive nod, not a silent internal head shake, but a bold and unwavering, heaven-shaking yes. The kind of yes that sends ripples through the realm of angels. The kind of yes that silences every lingering voice of doubt. The kind of yes that says, I receive this. I will walk in this. I will not forget this message again. Because what you remember now is not just a dream. It's a directive. Let your agreement be public. Let it be spiritual. Let it be undeniable. Speak it out loud. Write it in the comments. Let your voice echo back into the realm that tried to silence you. Let every demon that observed your pain now hear your praise. Let every spirit that attempted to block you now witness your boldness. Archangel Michael has spoken, but now heaven waits for your voice. Will you respond? Will you step into this word fully? Will you activate what's been assigned? Because this is the principle of divine alignment. Action unlocks access. Agreement accelerates manifestation. What you say matters. What you declare holds weight. The blessing frequency is pulsing around your atmosphere right now, but it is waiting for your command. Say it. Declare it. Align with it. Let the words of your mouth match the message you've received. Let your voice be the final seal on this spiritual scroll. You are not just a listener. You are a co-creator in this moment. You are not just the dreamer. You are the one now walking out the prophecy. Heaven doesn't move at random. It moves with rhythm. It moves with response. The gate is open. The air is charged. This is sacred ground. But to pass through, you must step boldly. You must lift your voice, raise your hands, open your mouth, and say what needs to be said in the Spirit. I receive. I remember. I rise. Say it until your body feels it. Say it until your fear breaks. Say it until heaven responds. Because heaven always responds to alignment. And this moment, this prophetic moment, is your signal. So speak. Declare. Affirm. Don't let another day pass where you walk beneath your calling. Don't let the next hour go by with doubt in your spirit. Choose agreement. Choose elevation. Choose identity. Archangel Michael did not come into your dream to leave you guessing. He came to awaken the truth you already carried. Now it's time to act on it. Now it's time to step into the reason you were chosen in the first place. And if this word touched your soul, if it found you where you are and called you into who you are becoming, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Type it. Respond. Your action isn't just for you. It creates ripple effects for others who are watching your journey. Your boldness gives someone else permission to rise too. Type ISAYYES to destiny in the comments if you receive this instruction. Blessing code 1010 is opening pathways of divine purpose over you now. If this message resonated with your spirit and you feel led to support this divine work, consider giving a super thanks. Gifts up to $20 go a long way in helping us create more life-changing, spirit-lifting content for souls like yours. We are deeply grateful.